Boxers, Shelly here. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about my Bugztopia PD series, which starts with the Bugztopia PD, the Attack on A&T Hill. This is my debut series as a middle grade children's chapter book author, and this series is really near and dear to me because of my nephew. But first of all, let's talk about the Bugztopia PD series. So the Bugztopia PD series is made up of 6 paperbacks. They all look very much the same. They are all $9.99 on all available platforms, for paperback. And for ebook, the first book is 99 cents and the rest are $2.99. I hope you guys will go and enjoy them. I also have an omnibus, which I don't actually have a copy with me right now. But if you look up there, that is the omnibus. It is a hardcover book that has all 6 books in one with 3 extra bonus scenes. They are books. That book is a hardcover, so it is a little more expensive. It's $45.99. But even if it wasn't $45.99, I would still probably charge a pretty decent chunk just because it is 6 books in one. But if you want to go check it out, go check it out. That one is only available on Amazon. The others are on all platforms. These are ideally for 9 to 12-year-olds who love mystery, detective work, and overarching evil. And, for kids to enjoy, to get to see life through a different lens, but also to see a slightly darker twist to things. But so I am going to kind of do a little questions here. I've got 4 questions that I'm going to answer about the series. So, what is the inspiration for this series? So, personally for me as Shelly, I really started my writing career as somebody who wanted to help inspire my nieces and nephews. So I have 3 nieces and nephews. One is 11. The other one is 4, and the other one is 1. So I have 11, 4, and 1-year-old nieces and nephews. And my nephew, who at the age of 7, whenever his sister was just about to be born, I was over at his house, and he was like, "Hey, Michelle." My real name is Michelle, so just to give you a heads up. But he's like, "Hey, Michelle, can you write me a book series?" And I at first was kind of caught off guard, but I had been thinking maybe I want to write a book series for him. And previously I have written other books under different pen names. But I was like, "Sure, bud, what do you want me to write about?" And he was like, "Bugs." And I was like, of course, a boy would want me to write a story about bugs. But I was like, "Okay, what do you want it to be about?" And I thought at first he was going to want me to write some nonfiction book, but I'm thinking to myself, if he wants that, he's not going to get it, because I don't know how to write nonfiction, especially about something that I'm not that knowledgeable about. But he was like, but I came up with a few ideas. I was like, we could have this idea, and this idea. I don't even remember what all the ideas were originally. But I told him about this crime fighting one, and he was like, "Yes, that." And I think it has a lot to deal with the fact that his mom loves crime shows. She watches them all the time. It's something that we were me and his mom were both kind of our mom loved crime shows, so it just made sense. And originally this book series was supposed to be 26 letters long, 1 book for each letter of the alphabet, and they were going to just be the A one was going to be A for the Attack on A&T Hill. I kind of always knew that it was going to be something like that on the title, but it quickly took a different turn as I started developing the story more and more, and it's really taken on its own life, I guess. It's really evolved into something beautiful, the series, because all 6 of these books, I would consider this part 1, Season 1 of the Bugztopia PD series. And the reason I call it Season 1 is because they all have to deal with kind of the same thing. These are progressively telling you the story of the first story arc of the series, or the first real story of the book. And ideally, I would like you guys to read this in order, just because then you get the full scope of the story. But like the first story, you meet Officer Francis and Officer Renee, and as the books 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 come out, you really get to see how their story develops and then leads on to bigger and better things. Well, just bigger things. I don't know necessarily if they're better, because I think season 1 is always going to hold a soft spot in my heart, but each one is getting better and better. But yeah, so the series keeps getting bigger. I currently only have 6 books in this series, not including the omnibus, because that I don't really count. But there will be more books in the series. I have written over 18 books in this series, with spin-offs in other books. So, like, instead of being in the Bugztopia world, we're in a different city called Insectopolis, and you just get to see a new dynamic of characters. Yeah, it's super fun. I love it. I can't wait to get back to releasing them more regularly. I just have to get more income circulating and stuff, and then I'll do it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be writing and brainstorming and stuff like that. Let's go move on to the next question. So, the challenge, what are the challenges and the most enjoyable parts of the writing process for me? So, I would say the most enjoyable process is just writing the story. I love the first draft of the story because I am telling myself the story. I am what people call a discovery writer or a pantser, meaning I just write by the seat of my pants. I really don't have like an idea of what's going to happen. I just write. And even if I do have an idea, that idea will most likely change because I never stick to the same thing. And to say the least, like I said, it started out with what was supposed to be 26 letters, ended up being multi-long seasons of books. Seasons are just what I call like the 6 books in the series. The seasons will be deciphered between different colors of the covers. But yeah, so I have multiple different seasons, multiple different series gonna all happen, and it's gonna span multiple different like not genres, but like age categories. So I have ideas to do picture books with like the extra scenes that I have written in the omnibus. Then I also have ideas to do possibly graphic novels, all things that have to do with getting more money. But like all these grand ideas just come from the writing and just writing and stewing over the idea of the story. Because there's such a vast world to it that I just want to tell it. And honestly, my nephew is so excited because he loves the series too. I say he loves it even though I don't think he's ever read it because he does struggle at reading, which I did too as a kid. So it just because you struggle at writing as a kid doesn't mean you're destined to not read as an adult, because I do read. And obviously I write, so of course I read. But it's just so fascinating to be like, he knows what happens because I tell him. And he also gets to see the character art that I get done. He gets to see the covers. He gets to see all this stuff done. And once the book is done and I print it off, I give him a copy of the book. And I just love also getting just to see his happiness whenever he gets to see it. Because this is something that's like very special between me and him. Like, this is like, my nephew has been part of my life since I was 14. Like, he is such a huge part of my life. Even growing up, like, he would spend good portions of the nights at my mom and dad's house because his mom is a nighttime nurse. And so me and him just had this bond. Like, I remember, like, we slept right next to each other because we had a weird house. But so I would be sleeping next to him, and like, I would sometimes sing him to sleep. And then other times he would crawl into my bed, if he had a nightmare or if he just wanted to cuddle. And I cannot express to you enough, like, that joy that I got whenever I was next to him. Like, just having that time with him. And the whole time, it was just been, I just love this process with it. Probably the most challenging part is getting the grammar right. And making sure I have all the story details in place. While also, like, I'm always scared that people are going to find mistakes in the books. And you know what? You probably are, because books are never going to be perfect. But I just hope, like, especially considering there's so many books in the series, that I just hope book 1 will be able to stand up against, like, say, book 20, you know? Um, yeah. I think that's kind of like the biggest challenge, is making sure that each book stands up on its own and has its own grounds to say. I'll be right back to do another question. Okay, so the next question that I have is my connection to the characters in the story. So I have multiple different characters that I follow in the series. Season 1 of Bugztopia follows Officer Francis and Officer Renee, which these two I probably have the closest relationship to, just because they are named after my nieces and nephews. Well, at the time, my niece and nephew, who were alive. But another character, Officer May, is named after my other niece, and she will be getting, well, I say she, but Officer May will be getting her own story arc in season 3 of Bugztopia, which I'm currently working on. But each character has so much, like, I like, not that I relate to them, because obviously I'm not a police officer, but like, just how we came up with the names for the characters makes me so happy. Because so Officer Francis and Officer Renee are the middle names of my nieces and nephew, and so is Officer May, well, May. And then throughout all the books, like, different characters also have my family members' middle names. So, Miss Annette, who is a cricket in the series, her Annette came from my mom's last middle name. And then just all these different characters are from my relatives' names. And some of them are named after my relatives, because, like, there is a few characters whose names are directly my relatives' names. But it's kind of hard to not have that happen when you come from a family as big as mine. But yeah, each character has its own, like, I feel connected to it in some way. So let's take Officer Francis. So Officer Francis, like, he's like a really smart aleck. He likes to poke fun at people, but also is really smart. And I don't know why he reminds me of, in certain moments, he reminds me of Sheldon Cooper off The Big Bang Theory. But also at the same point reminds me of my older younger brother. So he's older than me, but younger than my other brother. Just because Francis says a lot, but my brother and Sheldon don't say much, but when they do, you're like, come on, seriously? And I absolutely love that. And then Officer Renee, like, this go-getter girl, and I feel like I am her in a way. But I also feel like I relate to so many of my characters. But that's just kind of how my personality is. But yeah, there's so much connection to the story, to the characters, because they have aspects of me in them, because I just like to tell a little bit like that, but also they have aspects of people I know. Like, there's the strong silent type, kind of like Officer Ryan in season 2, and that relates a lot to my brother. And then there's Officer Bug, who's more of an anxious bug, and he kind of reminds me of my sister and stuff like that. So it's all really interesting stuff. And I love connecting things to my real life. What do I hope my readers will take away from my book? Basically, I want you to take away that the world is bigger than what it seems. Because there are some hints to things even more maybe serious or more interesting than the way, like, you perceive things. So, like, everything in Bugztopia, the case looks like it's going to be a clear-cut case, especially in, like, okay, take book 5. Book 5, it looks like the land that divides. It should be a pretty clear-cut case. A family of lice need to, not separate, well, kind of separate, but divide up the land after their relative passes away. But someone tries to steal it and stuff, and then we meet the villain. Well, we've met the villain previously, but we get to see the villain, and things then escalate to something worse, which leads to book 6. Well, actually, the worst thing happens in book 6. But it's just, like, so interesting, because in book 6, two characters get kidnapped. And now this might be a little dark for middle grade, but it just tells the story. And, because this book has a lot to deal with crime families. And now I don't think they're, like, especially where I live, there's no real crime families. But, like, I don't know, it feels like your classic detective series. And, you know, you may not like that idea of having this as a kid's story, but it's not like I go in detail. It's just, like, hints at it throughout the entire book series. Or says right out crime families. But it's not like you guys, I don't know if kids know what crime families are besides families that are crimes. I don't know. Yeah, I have so much fun with this series. Like I said, I think I have like 18 to 20 books in this series currently written. I had to take a little bit of a break off from writing them just because I'm trying to get a different pen name off the ground. But hopefully in the new year, I will be able to write more words throughout my each month, and get back to writing Bugztopia. Yeah, it's all super fun. I really hope you guys will enjoy it and pick it up. Like I said, the paperbacks are $9.99, and the paperbacks, these are the paperbacks. The paperbacks are $9.99. The ebook for book 1 is 99 cents. Book 1, which is the story you should start off with, is Bugztopia PD, The Attack on Aim to Kill. This is where we first meet a villain named Mr. Ant. Then you will go on to book 2, The Research of Ants. Then book 3, which is the book that we are going to be reading starting in 2 weeks, I think. In 2 weeks, we'll read The Case That Divides. And if you want to pick up book 1 and 2 already, you can. I would just pick up all the books because we're gonna be reading them throughout the year and stuff. But if you want to listen to my read through of book 1 and 2, and just kind of see if you like it, keep in mind, I'm not the best reader. I struggle with words sometimes, but the story is still good. So if you want to go check it out, I have 2 playlists on this channel, each one for each book. And so you guys can go check up on those. I don't think the videos are that long. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But starting the 17th, we are going to be reading book 3. And I'm either going to be releasing a new episode or a new 2 chapters every day that I upload, so on Wednesdays and Saturdays, or I'm gonna do it just on Wednesdays and have like a daily vlog or couple day vlog of me working on the Bugztopia books. So I'm not entirely sure, haven't really decided. But yeah, so we're going to be reading book 3, The Case That Goes Cold, sorry. The Case That Goes Cold. Then book 4, The Surge of Power. I'm not 100% sure when we'll read this. I would probably say March at the latest. Maybe, I don't know. And then book 5, The Land That Divides. This is the biggest book in the series. This is 220 pages long. This one, we might read in like June, July time. I don't know. I'm just taking random shots in the dark. And then book 6, The End of Terror. This one, maybe in August, September. Again, not sure. I'm just shooting out ideas. And hopefully by September of 2027, I will get back to releasing books. I actually already have 1 book kind of almost done. It is book 7 in the series. I'm going to go get it real quick, and I'll also get the omnibus. I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to show you book 7. So in September 2027, book 7 should be coming out. It is called The Secret of Honey. This is the proof copy of the book. This is just a copy that I personally have, just so I could edit it and look through it. This is going to be the start of season 2. And like I said, the seasons are, you can tell it's different seasons by the different colors of books. So this season, I'll just kind of tell you guys a little bit of how it's different from the other season. It does follow the same days, just at a quicker pace, and it's not necessarily the same exact timeline. Well, it is the same timeline, just moves a lot quicker than the previous books. But this follows Officer Ryan and Officer Bug. I don't know if you guys can see the characters, but this is Officer Bug, and this is Officer Ryan. And this is going to take them up until the end. Well, it's gonna lead us the same days as books 1 through 6, but at the end, it's going to have a couple extra books for additional storytelling and stuff, which will then lead into season 3, which is the season I'm currently writing, where I am following Officer May. I'm also needing to follow a partner for her. Haven't really figured out which partner I'm going to follow with her, but yeah, it's going to be super cool. Book 7, this one is a chunkier book again. It is about the same size as book 5, so if you want to check it, well, don't check it out yet because it's not even up, ready yet, but I can't wait for you guys to get to see this. My goal is to do this in September of 2027, hopefully. By then, I should have some finances coming in, and I should be better off in life. So yeah, hopefully this will come out. And then I also wanted to show you the omnibus, because after we get done reading the first 6 books in the series, and hopefully before the 7th book comes out, I will also read the 3 bonus scenes that I have for the series. Hold on, let me get to that page that the extra scenes are in. Okay, so one of the extra scenes is called The Crooked Past, which has a lot to deal with Officer Renee. Then there's The Empty Box. Then there is The Lonely Swings. And each one of these scenes kind of have something more to deal with Officer Renee, but also give background story into different books. And also, like, with the omnibus, like, the extra scenes that I have, I would love to do picture books of these. Or maybe, I think picture books would be great of these extra scenes. Just cost money to do, and, you know, money's not really on my playing cards right now. But yeah, this is the omnibus. It's almost 500 pages long, I think. Let's see if I can look. Over 500 pages. Looks like 510 pages? 512 pages. 512. But you have to keep in mind, this is 6 books in one. Gotta keep that in mind. If you want me to do a paperback of this book, I just thought hardcover would be better because it's a little more sturdy. But if you want me to do a hardcover of, the soft, a paperback cover, which are like these, the floppy ones, leave a comment down below telling me you would like one. I'd probably then have it available on all platforms again. But this is an option for you. And if you would like to have a hardcover of the paperbacks, so like have a hardcover of like each individual book, so have a hardcover of book 1, leave that in the comments down below too. I'm kind of thinking about it, but I just have to have interest in it before I do anything with it. But yeah, so if you think hardcovers of these kind of like the one chapter book would be interesting, leave it down in the comments below. It would look very similar to this, so it would just have like a printed cover. I wouldn't have a case laminate, which is this is case laminate. I would have the dust jacket to go over it. So yeah, if you think that's all interesting and stuff, I hope you guys will leave comments down below. Leave a like on this video if you thought it was interesting, and I hope to have you guys come join me again on the next video, where I will be getting ready to read book 3, I think. Oh no, it's the Q&A for book 3. No, Q&A for book 2, and doing a recap of the first 2 books in the series before I get ready to read book 3. So that's all I gotta say. I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!